Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all of you. How are you doing guys? This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of JForex Indicators Explained, we will be considering a interesting pattern recognition named as Morning Star. This is a formation which is used prominently as a bullish reversal pattern which occurs after a substantial decline has happened, and now we are getting the signs that a reversal might be on cards, and for that we always need a optimum entry point. So this is a formation which you can utilize to look for the change and the possible reversal, and then you can also utilize it to optimize your trade. This is the trade chart for Euro USD with each candle period defined at hourly time frame, and I have added this morning star formation. If you want to know how to add it, just do a quick search, or else you can do this add indicator option, and it is listed amongst the pattern recognition. Here in this long list you will find it just below. Let me check. So here it is. In the prior session I explained to you the uses of the morning doji star. Now we will be looking at the concept and possible uses of this formation of the morning star. There are three requirements for this particular formation. We always pay attention to the patterns, three candles. The first should be red candlestick with this closing value which is substantially lower compared to the opening price, and then the second candlestick should have long shadows on both sides. Its real body doesn't really matter whether it is closing higher than the opening price or below the opening price. It doesn't matter. Its real body should be small and there should be shadow on both sides, so that indicates there is indecisiveness amongst the market participants. And in the prior candle there was substantial selling as the closing price was much lower than the opening price, and in this second candle, in subsequent candle, there is indecision, and then comes the third candle which should close substantially higher compared to the opening price. So it should be closing higher than the opening price of the first candle, and its body should be quite long. And by quite long I mean you will always have to pay attention to the what is the average volatility. Using that inference you can determine how long is long enough, so then you get this reversal in place, and we can utilize the low form during this morning star formation as the immediate line to define the momentum. So as long as price remains above that, you can be quite hopeful, quite confident of the momentum being on the bullish side. So this is how you can utilize this morning star formation, which is quite easy to understand concept and also equally easy to look at the chart, and it is made more easier by our software, the JForex platform, which gives you this option of adding it, and as soon as it forms on the chart you will see it being recognized like this on the candle. So you don't have to spend all the time tracking these developments. Even if you are a trader who trades on the lower time frame like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or even lower than that, you can just add it to the chart, and as and when it forms on the chart, here we got this, you will see the pattern being recognized on this platform. Here is another instance. So three candlesticks are used, and each candlestick needs to meet different criteria, and after that you can look to initiate the trade while using this immediate price line as a decisive marker. So maybe you can give some buffer on the lower side, and you can try to initiate the trade as close as possible to this immediate reversal low, and then depending on your expectations and the price time frame, you can go for a long trade. So here if you had gone in for this trade, the price did drop but not much, only couple of pips, then this reversal came in and the price went higher. But that happened during the Asian trading session where the volatility tends to be quite less for the Euro USD. and volatility increases a lot after the start of the European trading session, where we saw this formation again. And in some very next candle, it dropped on the lower side, but afterwards the reversal came in, pushing the price higher again. And now if we turn it back to the hourly, here we got this trade in which we saw the substantial rise for next couple of hours, and now those gains are evaporating again. So for reversal, we can utilize this formation and always pay attention to this immediate swing low formed during this morning star formation, and that can be the price level where you feel confident enough, where you feel that this is the price from which there is a substantial buying interest being generated, and that is the price you can track for the next couple of candle periods. Now let us see what we can do in terms of the customization. So we have this penetration option in which we can increase or decrease the calculation period. Now as I have increased, you see, now here we see that as I increase the candle period, it has evaporated. This formation is now not being recognized on the chart, but if I reduce it back to 0 or even 1 or 2, it's being recognized. So you can vary it. Suppose you feel that if you increase the candlesticks period, then it will have more validity. You can do that as well. All you have to do is increase the number of these candles which are being used to define the pattern, and accordingly you can have it. And now if I increase it to 6, let us see. Okay, and we will have to go to lower time frame because it's a rare formation, it's not going to form that frequently. So as I increase the number of candlesticks, it has become even rarer. So I feel we will have to revert back to the initial settings, and for that, since it is not being recognized on the chart, we will have to add it afresh. And here we have now a catch 22 situation, as it is not being forming on the chart. We are not really getting the option, so we will have to go to the add indicator, and from there on we can add it and edit its input parameters. Okay, I think I will have to zoom out. Here it is. Still it's becoming a difficult job to edit its properties. Okay, now it's back in place. Alright, so let us now consider its output. Output, you can go for different color combinations. If you like brighter colors, you get all these options to customize it. Styling, you can opt for these bracketing, or you can even shade all of this candle in the choice of your color. Then the transparency, suppose if it is looking too prominent, you can increase the transparency factor and it will become less prominent on the chart. Coming to the advanced editing options, recalculate on new candle only. If you opt in for this, since there is a formation which uses number of predefined candles, it is not going to be impacted much by this recalculate on new candle option. Highlight the time period zone. You can opt in for this option, and whatever is your calculation period, it will be highlighted. If you want this pattern to be recognized on all the charting candlesticks you are working with, you can have this option on. Else you can individually also specify on which particular candle period you want this option, and you can have it on that. Suppose if we opt for 5 minutes and hourly, only on 5 minutes and hourly you will see this pattern forming on the chart. So there is one example here. These are a couple of examples. Now if I shift back to 10 minutes, we are not really going to see it because we have only opted for hourly and 5 minutes each. Okay, so that's how this works, and in this scenario you can have multiple indicators on different time frames, so it becomes easier for you to have multiple indicators to gather multiple data points, while at the same time making sure that the chart is not really looking cluttered and not complicated. So that's the purpose of having this editing option available on the platform. So with this, we are, I hope, quite familiar with the concept, the properties, and the possible uses of these candlestick formation. You can always come up with new uses. You can always devise new ways to utilize it. So I would suggest that you try out this combination and see how it works out for you. And you can always write to me the feedback after your use of this particular formation, if it has been helpful to you or not. So that's all from my side for today's session. Thank you all for joining in. For further coverage of the market developments, do check out the Dukascopy Analytics page. We are also available on the Facebook. You can reach out to us there too. For trying out these newly released platform, I have also included the link in the bio. So give it a try and let me know how it works out for you. Thank you all for joining in. I will be back tomorrow with a new pattern recognition to make you familiar with. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.